All right. Well, we got to get ready for a really difficult team to defend. Coach Finley does a tremendous job, him and his staff and those kids. They play a system that's very unique and been doing it, his whole career. So they'll be really tough to defend in their own arena. Really a challenge for us. We did a fairly good job the first time we played them. They missed some shots. Life on the road. We'll have to go there. They'll have, when we played them here, they were really attentive to Charlie. I'm sure that won't change. And so we're going to have to be able to step up and make some shots. So, every team is different in this league, it seems like, and the challenges that they present. And, we'll have a great practice today, I'm sure, and go on the road tomorrow.
Danny, want to start us off?
Yeah, Vic, first off, is there an Audrey update?
Yeah, she's out.
She's out. What is her injury?
She's in concussion protocol again.
Okay. After the last two road trips, is there something you're stressing differently to your players as to how they get prepared for this trip to Ames?
Yeah, just a business trip mentality, some leadership from some of our older kids, understanding and respecting, the opponent that we have and how they want to attack us. Again, whether, I keep saying this, Danny, whether these kids understand it, realize it, have earned it, everybody shoots for Texas. I mean, you get everybody's best shot. So home or away. And so we'll have to, I really want us to started yesterday. I want us to have a great day of prep today. And I want us to go in there with a little bit different mindset than what we've had in our previous couple of trips.
Okay, go ahead.
Vic, kind of a broader question. You're about halfway through the season. From the overall development of your players, is this where you expected them to be? Are they a little bit ahead of that, behind that? How do you assess just the overall progress that they've made since you've taken over?
Yeah, Jake, I don't know that I had any, because of my unfamiliarity with our roster, I don't know that I had any real, I just wasn't familiar with them. So I just know that we took a day at a time, trying to develop these kids and working with them. I think obviously I've been pleased with all of their development from day one to where we are now. I think they all have developed and are better today than when we got here. Would have loved to have had them in the spring and then the first summer session, but as you know, we just weren't allowed to have that happen. So the answer is I'm very pleased with our development. We have depth issues, and we're a very young team. I mean, we have our depth is freshmen, and it'll be that way the rest of the season. So we just we've got to be smart. Again, I love the mentality of our kids yesterday in practice. And, we got to carry that then into action.
Roger?
Coach, Hilton would be a place that would be, out of control tomorrow if they could have it. Is going on the road now just about comfortable as opposed to uncomfortable? Home teams familiar with the court, the rims, the surroundings. You guys have to deal with all the COVID protocol of travel. Is that kind of the difference now between road and home?
I don't think there's any question, you have so limited fan accessibility, although other people have fans. It's still not, like you said, there'd be 10,000 of them hanging from the rafters in Hilton normally, which makes it extremely difficult to play there. So, that's certainly a big difference. But, getting on a plane today, traveling 2+ hours with a mask and a shield on is not the most comfortable situation to be in. And then getting off the plane, it's like 19 there right now. So but that's part of it. That's part of going on the road, and so we'll have to manage that.
Taylor, do you have anything? You're muted, Taylor.
Okay, I'm sorry. My mic isn't really working, but no, I don't have anything.
Okay. Annie, back to you.
Vic, this team, I mean, the people that are left over from this team from last year, I mean, they won in Ames, and I mean, you had that, you've talked about it before, you had that team at Mississippi State that won, broke their winning streak, I guess it was 2016. Is there anything to gather from those experiences, or are those in the past since this is such an odd year and circumstance?
I don't know that you don't take some of that with you. I think our kids that won there last year and played, I think they need to take that with them and feel good about going in there. At the same time, doesn't matter where I play, I always, feel good about what we're doing and where we're doing it. So, I do think you draw from experiences, and I hope that Charlie and the rest of this group that played there last year, will take from there that, hey, it can be done. And, you got to go in there and play a top 25 team on their home floor. And so, again, the big difference is there's not 10,000 in there screaming at you. And that's a tremendous home court, no question about it.
And then it may be too early to have this conversation, but this is at least 7 concussions for Audrey that we know about. Is it too early to have that conversation with her, or do you expect to have her back at all this season?
So concussion protocol doesn't mean she has a concussion.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
But would you expect to have her back this season?
Right now, from what I've been told, that's our hope and that's where we're at right now. I mean, she's in a protocol which has X number of days, and so she's just got to, she got whiplashes, the other night's what happened. Her head never hit the floor and it didn't hit the screen, but she got a pretty good whiplash. So that's all part of the head and neck area, and so we've got to make sure that she's good to go. So she'll be out for a while.
All right, got time for one or two more. Chucky, we'll go to you.
Hey, Coach, I'm just wondering, you touched on it. You wish you'd had the women in the spring and the summer to get used to them a little bit more. I'm curious how you look at this matchup 3 weeks after the first one. Obviously, you guys are dealing with some injuries. Their young team has kind of gotten on a run ever since you beat them, but you've had 3 more weeks with your team. How do you look at this, and how much different do you feel like this matchup is than the first one?
Well, it's quite a bit different in my mind because of some of the injuries that we have, and some players that played, and now they're not going to play. So, it's they're still doing what they do well. There's no doubt about it. And again, each team in this league is different. How they guard each other is different. How teams guard us is not the same way as how they guard other teams, and so that's a piece that you have to adapt to as a team. When you're a young, inexperienced team, it's just not second nature. It's not, I know what to do here. We have to make sure we cover it in practice, and we go over it time after time after time with not only a new team, but new point guards. So it's, we got to make sure we cross our T's, dot our I's as a coaching staff, and put these kids in a position to be successful. And, they're doing all they can do. I'm really proud of them. They're playing hard. We're real thin depth-wise, and we got some really iron women going a long time in games, and I'm really proud of that. So, if you're a player and you like to play, you're in the right place if you're healthy, because you're going to get to play a lot of minutes.
All right, we got last one, Roger.
Vic, I'm just wondering, Iowa State, since you guys got them, they look like they're playing with a lot of confidence. Jones kind of willed them the other night against OU. They won it at Baylor. Do you kind of sense that from them as well?
Yeah, she's a monster, Roger. She's really talented. We did a nice job on her here. But that whole team is just taken off since they left here. So we'll certainly have our hands full, but I have a lot of confidence in our kids, and we'll have a good plan, and we just got to go in there and execute it and really play with some great focus and toughness. I think if we can do that, we'll be fine. And, but they're a different team for sure. They're hot. They've won 5 in a row, I think, and won a real close one the other night with Oklahoma. So, I'm excited for the challenge. I'm always excited about seeing our kids play, and I'm looking forward to the opportunity tomorrow.
Thank you, Coach.
All right. Praise the Lord.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank y'all.